stop scrolling. Take a breath. Because what I'm about to reveal today could completely change the way you look at the coins hiding across America. What if I told you that inside ordinary drawers, old jars, and forgotten collections are 5-cent coins worth $500,000 or even more? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Jefferson 5-cent coins, also known as Monticello nickels. Coins with iconic designs, rich history, and unbelievable hidden treasures across the United States. These coins honor President Thomas Jefferson, and the reverse features his famous home, Monticello, one of the most recognizable buildings ever placed on an American coin. In this video, we'll explore the top 4 most valuable, expensive, and ultra-rare Jefferson nickels ever discovered. These coins are highly sought after by serious collectors and smart investors. We'll break down rare P, D, and S mint marks, silver second-place metal composition and color variations, proof coins and mint errors, coins that look dirty, worn, or ordinary, but could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars today. So get ready, because your spare change will be hiding a fortune. Next up, coin number 1. The 1943 S. Jefferson nickel is one of the most fascinating coins in American history, born during a time when global conflict forced even everyday money to change. This small 5-cent coin carries a powerful story of war, sacrifice, and innovation, making it far more than just pocket change for collectors today. The coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States, whose calm profile appears on the front of the coin. Jefferson's legacy as a statesman, thinker, and architect of American ideals made him a fitting symbol for U.S. coinage starting in 1938. On the reverse side appears Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, a symbol of American heritage and classical design. This iconic building instantly connects the coin to early American history and Jefferson's vision of the young nation. The year 1943 was a critical period during World War II when metal resources were urgently needed for military production. Nickel metal was required for armor and weapons, forcing the government to temporarily change coin composition. Because of this shortage, the United States Mint altered the nickel's composition between 1942 and 1945, creating what collectors now call war nickels, made using silver, copper, and manganese instead of traditional nickel. The specific coin you're asking about carries the S mint mark, meaning it was struck at the historic San Francisco Mint, one of the major mint facilities responsible for producing coins for circulation during wartime. What makes these wartime nickels instantly recognizable is the large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse side, unlike earlier coins where mint marks were small and harder to find. Millions of Americans used these coins daily during the war, never imagining that decades later collectors would carefully examine each piece, looking for rare variations and high-grade survivors. Because these coins circulated heavily, many surviving pieces today appear dark, dull, or dirty due to decades of handling, storage, and exposure to moisture and air. Collectors actually expect to see dark toning or gray surfaces on war nickels because the silver content reacts differently over time compared to regular nickel coins. Some coins show deep black or smoky coloration, often mistaken as damage, but in many cases it simply reflects natural aging of the silver alloy mixture used during wartime production. While most 1943 S nickels remain affordable, coins in extremely high grades or with unusual mint errors can sell for impressive prices, surprising people who assumed all nickels were common. Stories online often exaggerate coin values, suggesting that every old coin can make someone a billionaire overnight, but in reality only exceptional examples reach high auction results. Still, the excitement of searching through coin jars or inherited collections continues to inspire collectors who hope to discover a rare gem hidden among ordinary coins. Mint errors such as double letters, off-center strikes, or die cracks sometimes occur during production, and these unusual pieces attract serious collector interest. Coins preserved in original rolls or untouched collections tend to have brighter surfaces and sharper details, making them more valuable than heavily circulated pieces. Many families unknowingly kept war nickels as souvenirs because they knew silver was used in them, allowing some coins to survive in excellent condition. The wartime change in coin metal composition tells a powerful story about how even everyday currency supported national defense efforts during global conflict. Holding one of these coins today connects collectors to a time when Americans contributed in every possible way, even to the change in their pockets. Collectors often search for coins showing minimal wear on Jefferson's hair and strong detail on Monticello steps, as these features help determine condition and value. Even coins that look worn or dirty still carry historical value, representing millions of transactions across wartime America. Some coins develop beautiful rainbow or golden toning after decades of storage, making them visually appealing and highly collectible. New collectors sometimes clean coins hoping to increase value, but cleaning usually damages the surface and reduces collector appeal instead. The popularity of worn nickels continues growing as more people learn that these coins contain real silver, adding extra interest beyond face value. Although finding a coin worth millions is extremely rare, discovering a well-preserved or unusual example can still be rewarding for collectors and sellers alike. Collectors today enjoy the hunt as much as the value, searching bankrolls and old collections hoping to find overlooked treasures. Each coin carries marks from its journey through history, showing how everyday money can become collectible artifacts over time. The 1943 S. Jefferson nickel remains one of the most accessible and historically meaningful U.S. coins, making it popular among beginners and advanced collectors alike. Before spending old nickels, it is always wise to check the date and mint mark, since small details sometimes make a big difference in collector interest. In the end, the excitement surrounding coins like the 1943 S-War nickel proves that even the smallest pieces of currency can carry incredible stories, reminding collectors that hidden history may still be waiting inside forgotten jars and drawers around the world. Next up, the 1967 Jefferson nickel may look like an ordinary 5-cent coin, but behind this small piece of metal lies a dramatic period in American coin history when changes in minting practices created mystery, confusion, and excitement among collectors that continues even today. On the front of the coin appears a calm portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's most important founding figures, whose image has appeared on the nickel since 1938, symbolizing knowledge, independence, and the early spirit of the United States. The reverse side shows Jefferson's famous Virginia home, Monticello, an architectural masterpiece and symbol of American heritage that instantly connects the coin to early national history. The year 1967 was unusual because during the mid-1960s, the United States faced a serious coin shortage as people began hoarding coins for metal value and collecting purposes, causing circulation problems nationwide. To stop hoarding and stabilize circulation, the United States Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967, including nickels, dimes, and quarters. This means that all Jefferson nickels dated 1967 show no mint mark, even though they were produced at different facilities, making collectors curious about their origin and production numbers. Unlike wartime nickels made with silver, the 1967 Jefferson nickel returned to the standard copper-nickel alloy composition, so these coins do not contain silver, even though many people mistakenly believe they do. Because millions of these coins entered circulation, most examples today appear worn, scratched, or darkened after decades of use in vending machines, stores, and pockets across America. Many coins now look dirty or dull, developing gray or black surfaces after years of handling and exposure to air, moisture, and storage conditions. Interestingly, collectors often find coins with unusual toning or deep coloration that make them visually unique, even though such appearance does not always increase value. The real excitement surrounding 1967 nickels comes when collectors discover coins preserved in exceptional condition, with sharp details and original mint luster still shining decades later. Coins kept in untouched rolls or collections sometimes survive in nearly perfect condition, making them far more desirable than heavily circulated examples. Some collectors search for minting errors, such as double letters, off-center strikes, or surface imperfections, which makes certain coins much more valuable. Stories sometimes claim that ordinary nickels can be worth millions overnight, but in reality only rare error coins or top-quality specimens achieve impressive auction prices. Still, the dream of finding a rare coin in everyday change keeps collectors excited, checking jars, drawers, and inherited collections for hidden treasures. The absence of mint marks on 1967 coins adds an extra layer of mystery, reminding collectors of the unusual economic pressures that shaped American coin production during that era. For coin enthusiasts, even a worn 1967 nickel represents history, showing how everyday currency connects people to national economic challenges and solutions. Collectors also examine fine details, such as Jefferson's hairlines and Monticello's steps to judge coin condition, which greatly influences collector demand. Many people mistakenly clean old coins hoping to improve appearance, but cleaning usually damages the surface and reduces collector value instead. The best finds often come from coins that remain untouched for decades, sitting quietly in forgotten jars or family collections until rediscovered. While the average 1967 Jefferson nickel remains worth only face value, exceptional coins or rare mint errors can sell for surprising amounts in collector markets. The excitement around coins like this proves that sometimes history hides in the smallest objects, waiting for curious eyes to recognize its importance. Collectors love telling stories of unexpected discoveries, reminding viewers that even common coins may hold personal or historical value beyond their small denomination. The journey of a simple nickel, from mint production to everyday circulation, and eventually into collectors' albums, shows how ordinary objects become pieces of history. Every scratch and worn edge on a circulated coin reflects countless transactions and lives that touched across decades of American life. For collectors and viewers alike, learning the story behind a coin turns spare change into a fascinating window into economic and cultural history. So before spending old coins without looking, it's always worth checking the date and condition, because sometimes a small detail can transform a simple coin into an exciting collectible find. The 1967 Jefferson nickel ultimately reminds us that even common coins carry stories of national challenges, minting changes in everyday American life, making them far more interesting than their 5-cent value suggests. And while finding a coin that changes your fortune overnight is rare, the thrill of searching and discovering history in your own hands is what truly makes coin collecting exciting for millions around the world. Next up, the 1964 Jefferson nickel may appear to be just another 5-cent coin, but behind this small piece of metal lies one of the most fascinating moments in American coin history, a time when currency, economics, and collecting excitement all collided. On the front of the coin appears a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, whose calm profile has symbolized American independence and intellectual leadership on the nickel for decades, making the coin instantly recognizable to millions of people. The reverse side proudly displays Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, an architectural icon that connects every nickel to the early cultural and political roots of the United States. The year 1964 was especially important because America was going through dramatic changes in coin production as silver prices rose and people began saving coins instead of spending them. During this period, millions of coins disappeared from circulation as people hoarded them, believing their metal value would increase, creating shortages across the country. To keep coins moving through the economy, the United States Mint increased production and adjusted minting strategies to prevent further shortages. Unlike dimes and quarters of time, the 1964 Jefferson nickel still used the standard copper-nickel mixture, so it did not contain silver, though many people mistakenly believe it does. Because huge numbers of nickels were produced, most examples entered heavy circulation, becoming scratched, worn, and darkened through years of everyday use. Collectors today often discover these coins in dirty or blackened condition, a result of decades of handling, storage, and exposure to air and moisture. Surprisingly, even coins that look unattractive can still carry historical interest, showing signs of long circulation across countless stores, machines, and wallets. The real excitement begins when collectors discover coins preserved in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and original shine still visible after 60 years. Some coins were saved in rolls or collections, escaping circulation entirely, and these untouched examples attract strong interest in the collector market. Value increases dramatically when a coin shows clear details on Jefferson's hair and the fine steps of Monticello, features that were down quickly in normal use. Collectors also search carefully for minting mistakes, such as double lettering, off-center strikes, or unusual metal flaws that make certain coins extremely rare. Stories often circulate claiming these coins are worth millions, but in reality, only exceptional specimens or rare errors command very high prices. Still, The dream of discovering a valuable coin in pocket change continues to inspire collectors to examine every nickel they find. Because minting numbers were high in 1964, the majority of coins remain common, yet condition and uniqueness still play powerful roles in determining value. Coins stored improperly often develop dark spots or corrosion, but careful collectors know that natural aging sometimes creates attractive toning patterns. Cleaning coins might seem helpful, yet it usually damages the surface and lowers collector value, making untouched coins far more desirable. For many enthusiasts, the thrill comes not only from potential profit, but from holding a real piece of American history in their hands. Every 1964 nickel passed through countless transactions, silently witnessing everyday life across cities, towns, and rural communities. Collectors enjoy imagining how many people used the coin before it finally settled into a collection jar or coin album. The fascination with coins grows because they connect ordinary people to national history, economic shifts, and artistic design. Occasionally, rare varieties or mint errors in this era appear in auctions, selling for impressive sums that spark renewed excitement among collectors. Even worn examples serve as reminders of how coins traveled through decades of commerce and cultural change. For beginners, the 1964 nickel offers an accessible starting point into coin collecting without requiring large investment. Checking coin jars, inherited collections, and pocket change sometimes leads to surprising discoveries that ignite lifelong collecting hobbies. While becoming wealthy overnight from a common coin is unlikely, the knowledge and excitement gained from searching can be rewarding in its own way. The story of the 1964 Jefferson nickel ultimately proves that even the smallest coins carry powerful historical stories waiting to be rediscovered. So before spending an old nickel without looking, take a closer glance, because behind that small 5-cent piece might lie a fascinating journey through American history that makes the coin far more valuable than its face value suggests. Next up, 6. The 1963 Jefferson nickel might look like an ordinary 5-cent coin, yet behind this small piece of metal lies a powerful story connected to one of the most dramatic eras in modern American coin history, when coins were still flowing heavily through daily commerce, and millions of people never imagined that ordinary pocket change would one day become collectible treasures. On the front of the coin appears a familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, whose image has symbolized independence, intellect, and the early American vision ever since his likeness was chosen for nickel in the late 1930s, making this coin one of the longest-running designs still recognized by collectors today. The reverse side of the coin proudly displays Jefferson's historic Virginia home, Monticello, a building that connects every nickel directly to early American heritage and gives collectors a sense that even a small coin carries deep cultural and historical meaning. In 1963, America stood on the edge of major change, both socially and economically, and coin production was rising rapidly as demand for small change increased in stores, vending machines, transportation, and everyday purchases across the country. At that time, the United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of coins to keep commerce moving smoothly, and Jefferson nickels were struck in such large quantities that most people assumed they would never become rare or valuable. Unlike wartime nickels produced during World War II, the 1963 nickel did not contain silver, but many collectors still search these coins hoping to discover unusual minting errors or exceptionally preserved pieces that escaped heavy circulation. Because these coins were used constantly, most surviving examples today appear worn, scratched, or darkened, often covered with dirt or black toning, after decades spent in pockets, drawers, and coin jars across America. Yet experienced collectors know that even coins found in poor condition can sometimes hide valuable characteristics, especially if rare minting mistakes or strong design details remain visible beneath years of wear. The excitement begins when someone discovers a coin that still shines with original mint luster, showing crisp detail in Jefferson's hair and clear steps on the Monticello building. Features that usually fade quickly once coins enter circulation. Collectors carefully examine nickels for unusual traits, such as double letters, weak strikes, off-center impressions, or other mint errors that occurred during high-speed production, because these mistakes can turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into a collector's prize. Stories circulate online claiming that certain nickels are worth millions, and while those stories are often exaggerated, It is true that some rare examples in outstanding condition have sold for impressive amounts at auctions. The idea that a forgotten coin in an old jar could hold surprising value keeps collectors searching through loose change, inherited coin collections, and bankrolls hoping to make a lucky discovery. In reality, most 1963 nickels remain common, yet condition plays a powerful role in value, meaning that coin preserved carefully for decades can attract attention far beyond their tiny face value. Many coins stored carelessly develop stains or corrosion, but natural toning sometimes creates beautiful color patterns that collectors actually appreciate rather than dislike. Cleaning coins might seem helpful, but it usually scratches the surface and lowers value. So experienced collectors prefer coins that remain untouched, even if they look slightly aged. For many hobbyists, the joy of collecting comes not just from profit, but from holding real pieces of history that once moved through everyday American life during an era of cultural and economic transformation. Each nickel passed through countless hands, vending machines, gas stations, and stores, silently witnessing daily routines before finally landing in collections or storage containers. Collectors enjoy imagining how many journeys these coins have taken, traveling across cities and states before eventually being rediscovered decades later. The fascination with coins grows because they link ordinary people to national events, artistic craftsmanship, and economic history in a tangible way few other objects can offer. Occasionally, rare mint errors or beautifully preserved examples appear at coin shows or auctions, reminding collectors that surprises still wait to be found among millions of common coins. Even worn coins carry stories of circulation, showing how currency moved through communities and supported daily life across the nation. For beginners, the 1963 Jefferson nickel offers an easy and affordable entry point into coin collecting, encouraging new hobbies to start examining their pocket change more carefully. Searching through coins can become an exciting habit, as every discovery feels like uncovering a hidden piece of the past that survived decades unnoticed. Although becoming a billionaire overnight from a common nickel is extremely unlikely, the thrill of searching and the knowledge gained often prove more rewarding than money alone. The story of the 1963 Jefferson nickel ultimately reminds collectors that even small coins hold powerful historical meaning, connecting modern collectors to generations who once used those same coins in everyday transactions. So before spending an old nickel without a second glance, take a moment to look carefully, because behind that simple 5-cent coin could be a fascinating piece of American history waiting to be rediscovered, proving that sometimes the smallest treasures carry the biggest stories.